guys, welcome back to the Piston Show. I'm Kashi Dillon, and today we have here the new Moda Spotter S. So yes, I spelled that right. It's not Sportster S, it's Spotter S. And if you've never heard of the brand Moda, fret not, because it's a fairly new brand in Malaysia. In fact, this is their first model for the Malaysian market. It is a Malaysian brand. So we have seen a lot of these newer brands that we've never heard of before that are now entering into the Malaysian market. But this is quite unique, the Moda Spotter S, simply because it's not just a kit that somebody went to China and bought and simply put their own brand on it. If you have enough money, you can actually do that. But instead, what these guys did is that they went to China, they found a few partners that they wanted to work with, and picked and choose from some not just low-lying fruits, but some really juicy fruits, because the Spotter S that you see over here has some pretty impressive technology, such as the fact that they have worked with some very iconic brands such as LG, which has provided certain aspects of this bike, and Bosch has provided the electronic fuel injector for this machine as well. And then you get a lot of other very prominent brands in this model, so to speak. And so we are here in Lakeside in Sepang, where we've just spent about half an hour as a first impression for the Moda Spotter S. This is actually just a first impression ride. We just rode about 30 kilometers with this motorcycle, perhaps a little bit less, and I've got some opinions about it. Anyway, the Spotter S was introduced just about 10 days ago, and it's priced at just a shade under 18,000 ringgit, 17,888 to be precise. So what does it offer? Let me show you. First things first, it's the design of the motorcycle. It's, well, borrowed some very interesting design features from some very well-known brands, and I think you know what I'm talking about, because the front over here does look like it's been borrowed from the Ducati Panigale. In fact, the rear brake light also looks like it came off the Panigale, which I guess not really a bad thing, because it seems to suit the motorcycle really well. And then if you move up here, this is actually adjustable. So this should get you, well, in and out of traffic quite easily. But if you are thinking about removing it, it's going to be quite difficult, because it's just sort of, yeah, permanently placed there. But the fact that it's adjustable in that sense, that's a good thing. So besides the obvious design, which, love it or not, is actually, I really quite like the design. It looks really good. Down here, you get a 15-inch wheel, where else the one at the back measures in at 14 inches. And then you get the Yuan telescopic fork with 80 millimeters of travel. Now, in my opinion, 80 millimeters of travel, well, may not be too good, may not be sufficient, because I did bottom out the suspension over here under heavy braking, as well as the rear shock, which comes with slightly more than 60 millimeters of travel. But it does sort of look good though, these inverted forks, don't they? And then you get two twin discs up front, which really seem to scream purposeful. And in terms of braking power, no dramas at all. And you also get ABS. Now, this 15-inch front wheel is wrapped in Timson tires, which in the dry just now seemed more than good enough. But overall, I think that the front suspension also seems to, maybe you need to be a little bit more careful, because at higher speeds, past 120, past 130 kilometers per hour, it did not feel very planted. Maybe it's got something to do with the tire pressure or something, but it felt very floaty at higher speeds. But overall, it seemed to suit the overall character of the bike. Now, besides that, if you come up here, you get a digital screen, and this locking and unlocking mechanism is similar to the one on the Honda. So this, again, not really a bad thing, but you get a colorized digital screen over here, which you get night and day features, so it can get brighter and darker according to your setting, or you could just leave it in auto. You also get a USB port, and besides that, sitting position is quite decent, very typical of a scooter. Now, it weighs 186 kilograms, which is not exactly light, but after you get going, it sort of comes together really nicely because you do not really feel the weight of the bike, especially through traffic. It hides its heft really well. And other than that though, you get multiple storage spaces over here. You can check out the key, guys. It looks like a BMW key, to be honest. BMW car key, not a bike key. And so and then you get more storage spots over here. And then in typical Honda fashion, again, you must turn this thing and press this button just like you would in a Honda, and you get a 10-liter underseat storage space. This is not enough for a full face helmet, but it's good enough. In terms of comfort, yes, I would say that comfort is quite decent. The seat is really comfortable. That's quite impressive. And in terms of sitting position, it's quite good as well. You can actually sit with your feet placed over here, which I tried. Well, comfortable for sure. And the screen, I read in the brochure that it's adjustable. I just can't figure out how to do this as yet. Maybe once I get this bike for a longer review, I'll sort of figure this out later on. Now, further back, in terms of the engine, 250 cc's, making about 26 or 24.8 horsepower and about 22.5 newton meters of torque. Decent enough to get you up to speed. Talking about speed, I did see a top speed of roughly about 145 kilometers per hour, and that's when the front started to feel a little bit floaty. Scary for sure. So yeah, if you're going to get this bike, don't do 145. That's basically the gist of it over here. So how does it sound like? Let me just get this done for you. It's typical scooter. Well, it runs on a CVT gearbox, so can't really do much more than that without the bike threatening to fly off. And now I want to show you this tail light. You gotta check this out. Check out, this is very Panigale-like, isn't it? Even the tail over here, the sharp end over here, feels very Panigale-ish for sure. Even the hazard lights, they look good. There's no doubt. I think the overall design of the motorcycle looks really good. In terms of suspension, you get twin shocks at the back, adjustable for preload, of course. In terms of the range of the bike, well, I'm not sure if it shows me the range, but I do know that, no, it doesn't show me the range, but I do know that it gives me a tire pressure monitoring system, which to me is quite decent. So in terms of what I like about the bike, I like that I like the size of it. Battling through traffic is going to make it, means that it's going to be easy to battle through traffic with a bike this size. I like the fact that you get an adjustable windscreen. I like the fact that you get a collapsible set of side view mirrors. Quality seems to be quite decent as well. I got no complaints about that. I've already told you about the design. It looks really good. Comfort as well. And you get quite a decent sized pillion seat at the back over here. And in terms of pricing, 17,888, quite decent for a 250cc super scooter. That's what Moda likes to call it. And the couple of things that I don't like about it, that iffy front end, doesn't feel very planted. So that's something to look out for. and at lower speeds you do feel the 186 kilogram weight of the bike. And besides that, I do think that the fonts over here, well, especially the fonts for the tire pressure monitoring system, the trip meter and such, it can be a little bit small. So if you're elderly and you rely on reading glasses, that might just be an issue. But then again, you don't really look at the trip meter unless you come to a complete stop. So no dramas over there. And as I said, you get a ABS system, braking system as well. And I really like the fact that you get to turn off ABS completely. I wonder what Moda was thinking about when they put this ABS off switch, because that means you could slide around and such. But anyway, ABS is always good, so leave that on. So in conclusion, 17,888 for a bike that looks this good, well, seems like a steal, especially if you ask me after just spending about half an hour with this bike. Again, if it doesn't feel very planted at high speeds, just don't ride fast. Let me know what you think about the Moda Spotter S. I've been driving so many cars that I'm thinking about Moda. Yeah, very far away from that, obviously. So Moda Spotter S, 17,888 ringgit. And if you're worried about a new brand, you're thinking about what if this new brand it's not tried and tested, what about spare parts and such? Well, the company that assembles this bike here in Malaysia are the same people that used to distribute Kawasaki and now distribute Suzuki motorcycles as well. So these guys know what they're doing. They're not new at this game. They've been doing it for eons. Anyway, besides that, it also comes with a 2-year or 20,000 kilometer warranty. So how's that for peace of mind? Let me know what you think about the Moda Spotter S in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm Kashi Dylan.